Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is the Mortuary's Assistant. The dead can't hurt you, right? This spooky embalming game finally makes it to consoles. But is it actually scary or just dead weight? Let's find out. The Mortuary Assistant is a short horror game about preparing bodies for embalming while not getting possessed by Pazuzu. You play as Rebecca, intern for a mortuary job who is ready to take on her final assignment. During the embalming, which serves as the game's tutorial, some weird stuff happens and she's sent home. Late that night, she gets a call from the lead embalmer requiring her to come back to the lab and then locking her in. It seems a demon is possessing one of the 3 bodies and is trying to possess her. So Rebecca needs to figure out the name of the demon, which body it possesses, and then destroy it before it gets what it wants. The game takes place over one night. During the night, you'll need to embalm at least 2 bodies before making a decision, which is where a lot of the horror kicks in. Turns out preparing bodies for burial kind of is grotesque if you aren't used to it. Completing tasks like injecting wire into gums to close the mouth, capping eyes, draining the blood out of bodies, and inspecting the body for identifying marks. This is unnerving already, but the demon will mess with you as you're doing this, from basic things like opening or closing doors to more elaborate spooky experiences in an attempt to take you out of the process. Pulling up your clipboard, which has job steps, might find it covered with blood or a spooky note. Objects may move or shift around, or in extreme situations, Rebecca will have whole hallucinations from her past. You have to also keep an eye out for bodies acting oddly, such as twitching or making weird sounds, which will indicate possession. In addition to embalming, you'll need to find 4 symbols the demon has hidden around the world using talismans. These burn when near a mark's general location, and writing these down is required in order to successfully identify the demon. Where the game excels is the mix of uncomfortable work with the constant threat of a scare. While the game does have a fair number of jump scares, its true horror is how incredibly stressful the entire situation is, with some fantastic ambiance and scares randomly pulled from a large pool, meaning no 2 playthroughs are the same. Each night takes about an hour, and doing it 3 or 4 times successfully will give you the true ending. And really, that's the Mortuary Assistant, a task-based bottle horror game with an unsettling job to complete and plenty of demonic weirdness to spook you out. So what do I like about the Mortuary Assistant? Well, this game is scary as hell. Embalming bodies is already high on the creep factor, but adding in supernatural elements and spooky interferences to your work, and you've got a game you gotta turn the lights on for. Additionally, doing the actual work of embalming is really engaging and prevents this from just being a scary walking simulator. You have to complete a rather complex task multiple times and solve an underlying puzzle while not getting creeped out, which works. And lastly, while each run is short, the game has 5 endings to work towards, leading to a lot of replay value. And the game is varied enough that runs usually feel unique from each other without repeating scares or events. When it comes to the bad, this is a low budget game and it shows. Janky animations, some noticeably low res graphics, and minor bugs make it feel its lower price tag. It's just a bit rough. Additionally, the game does rely a bit on RNG for both its scares and beating its final puzzle, which if you aren't lucky with the rolls can make the task feel more like a guessing game than logic. And lastly, this console version definitely feels unoptimized for a controller, with there being no acceleration on the movement or looking using the sticks, and every menu is more trouble than it should be. It's clunky. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale, must play, maybe consider, and don't bother. So here's the thing. This game has plenty of problems, from a slow production value, short length, and repetitive loop after a point. But this is a horror game, and as someone who loves horror games but usually doesn't get scared by them, Mortuary Assistant absolutely got me. It's uncomfortable, unnerving, and made me nope out of the game multiple times to pause and take a break to collect myself. As a work of horror, it completely succeeds at being genuinely upsetting. And to me, that's what really matters and makes it an easy recommend. Here's hoping they fix some of the controller stuff though. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played or heard of the Mortuary Assistant, it came out on PC a while back, but now that it's on consoles, I think a lot more people can go check it out. So let me know what you think in the comments, and if you want to scare yourself silly, make sure to check out the Mortuary Assistant.